If you sell your home, you're probably stressed. Not because it's, hey, am I going to be okay? But if you're selling your home, maybe you're downsizing. Maybe you're like my mom who wants to upsize. I'm like, Mom, do you really need a bigger home? She's like, well, we don't know how many grandchildren are coming. I'm like, and no stress there, obviously. But jokes aside, when you do sell a home, it may be because you're literally about to move and downsize for the first time out of your family home. Maybe you have a condo and it's time that you want to just simplify your life. Maybe you want to rent. There's a lot of different options when you do sell your home. Welcome back to the series Root Drops. And in this series, you all get to hear from our amazing advisors here at Root Financial who are going to give you a little tidbit of knowledge based off a question that is left in our community, the Root Collective. As a reminder, this is our free community. So I'm about to read the question that prompted today's episode, but if you want to ask a question to be answered in a future episode, check out the description where you can join our free community. Now, this came from Jennifer N. And if you look at my screen now, Jennifer N says, what would you do with the proceeds from the sale of a home? She says, hey, I'd welcome the community thoughts on my situation. I'm retiring this month. So I'm selling a condo that would yield about $290,000 clear, meaning she does not need to pay capital gains as it was her primary residence 2 years ago. Her current primary residence has a mortgage of $220,000 at 3%. Awesome. I'm inclined to put the condo proceeds in a brokerage account. I have a separate name I prefer for that. And I'm going to use it to pay down the mortgage for a few years and then just pay it off when I start collecting Social Security. Who knows when, maybe 67 or 70. I'm thinking I'll also use some of it to live on in the next few years so I can do some Roth conversions, with the exception of maybe 20K from contract work. I expect to begin living off an inherited IRA that must be liquidated in about 5 more years, plus I have a 403B. So as you can tell, she's basically got a super simple situation. I'm just kidding. There's a lot there. She's already thinking about Roth conversions. I would argue maybe she's thinking too far ahead. She's already thinking, hey, maybe I should do some tax stuff. First, it's, hey, let's simplify your life and get you happy. What we care about is not, do you have the best interest rate? It's, hey, do you want to live with a mortgage? If you collected Social Security at a certain time, is it simply because you don't want to draw from your portfolio? Like, why is it? We want to go deeper. So in this new series, Root Drops, you're going to hear from one of my amazing advisors, Naomi. Naomi, any thoughts?
Yeah, that's a great question. And you're definitely not alone. A lot of people sell and don't really know what to do with the proceeds from the sale. But ultimately, I think it's really important to understand that the ultimate goal is your happiness and what helps you sleep better at night, and not necessarily what might make more sense on paper or just financially looking at the mortgage rates. So, for example, personally, when I buy a car, if it's a high interest rate, I'll be more inclined to pay it off early. That's what helps me sleep better at night. Versus if it's a low interest rate, I'm more comfortable taking on that debt and just making minimum payments over time. But everyone's different, so it's really important to just think about that for yourself. But when it comes to determining what the ideal strategy might be with this proceeds, there's a lot of moving parts that depend on your own unique goals and situation. So working with an advisor or using a planning tool can help you to evaluate whether paying off that mortgage immediately or over time can impact your plan. These also aren't the only two options. There's a full spectrum of options in between that can be considered as well. So it's good to just think about maybe outside the box, paying part of it up front and then the rest over time or something like that. Tons of different opportunities and solutions there. Looking at this though, given the low interest rate, it might make more sense to pay it down gradually rather than all at once. And if you did do that and wanted to invest the proceeds, you can consider investing them into a brokerage or what we call a superhero account. The other thing I'll note is that you don't have to feel rushed to make a decision immediately after the sale either. You can move the proceeds into a money market or savings account while you just think about it and see how it makes you feel having those proceeds in your account, and then from there, determine what the best strategy is for you.
Guys, I hope you heard what Naomi just said there, which I think gets overlooked so often. Yes, obviously, I talk about optimizing. People make fun of me at the company. We know Ari's weekend wasn't fine, it was optimized. Okay, so I let them do that. But the reality is, there are times where it makes sense to fully optimize. Hey, we got to do a conversion to this bracket because it's going to save us X in taxes, and it's very clear. There's other times where it's not that clear, and this is a good example of that. Too often we'll see people go, yeah, I'm going to use these funds and I'm going to have my superhero account and then I'm just going to pay off the mortgage in full. When the reality is, it might make a big difference. I'm talking tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to continue paying down the minimum and investing the rest. For example, if you have a low interest rate, like 3%, the reality is, if you're investing and getting 8, 9, 10%, you're going to love paying down that minimum and not putting more to it because the rest could be working for you. But it's very rare that someone comes to us and says, I'm so glad my portfolio is up $100,000. But we have a lot of people that go, oh my gosh, I couldn't tell you how much better I'm sleeping at night not having a mortgage. Sure, yeah, I know I could pay down the minimum and invest the rest, but my life's just better. It's just one expense I don't have to worry about. So I really like Naomi's point there. Now, if you resonated with Naomi's style and you think that's someone who might really resonate with you and potentially your spouse or partner because you're thinking of selling a home and you're looking for this next level holistic financial planning guidance, this is what our advisors love to help people with. If you go to our website and you click Root Financial, that's how you obviously get to the website, boomer over here, and then you click in the upper right, click to see if you're a fit, you'll be asked a few questions. If you answer those questions, you could literally start working with Naomi or any of our advisors within a week. We make all of this content so people like yourselves can start to really get true holistic guidance. Obviously, today we just touched on one point here of, okay, if we have a low interest rate, should we consider paying it off? Does it make sense to even go into Roth conversions? We don't want to go so far where now we're missing the point here, which is a life well lived. That is a good sign of a financial plan. Finally, if this video is helpful, please like this video. Please comment below if there was something you learned, some takeaway that you went, yeah, that's something when Naomi was talking about her example of buying a car, I like that. It's, yeah, maybe I could go shop around and spend more time, but at some point here, maybe I just want to be done with it. So I'm just going to buy the car. So I think that's something to take away. Lastly, it's more fun to retire early with friends or with family. So if you crush it and you retire early because you watch the channel and you know how to save and invest, and you got the superhero and you're ready to eat cauliflower and pay the Roth conversion taxes, awesome, but it's going to be more fun with your friends. So please share this with someone that you think would resonate with it. See you guys next time.